Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncy-Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together. Tell me about you. Tell me about your business, what inspired you to start it, what you're up to.
Yeah. Okay. So I started my business January of last year in 2024,
Okay.
and I provide marketing and communications support to CEOs of companies and founders. I help them with their storytelling, and we can turn those stories into newsletters. And also, we can actually create an entire content engine for the company, depending on their need.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And where did you first consider incorporating AI tools? What kind of drew you to that?
Initially, when I was working in corporate, I was using AI. I had discovered AI when ChatGPT came out in late 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were like fiddling around with it, just trying to put different prompts in there to see what we can do with like social media posts.
Mm-hmm.
And we found it to be quite good. But after I had discovered ChatGPT, when I set up my own business, that's when I had discovered Claude. And I said, oh, Claude is a bit more advanced than ChatGPT. I just found their responses to be more thorough.
Mm-hmm.
So I was started to just put the same prompt into each one of them and just see what it gives me back. And I was finding that Claude was had a bit more depth to it. So I liked Claude. Also, I was doing research. So I had discovered Perplexity. I had received like a subscription to Perplexity, which I really liked because it just gives me various articles that I can look at on a specific topic. So that was Perplexity. Then I also was looking at, there was a few others that were really good, like copy.ai. I had, I had used them to write some copy because they help a lot with social media posts. They can even do blog posts. Yeah. And then Jasper.ai was another one that I was looking
Mm-hmm.
at. Yeah. Actually, that could be the one that I'm talking about actually, is the Jasper. In Yeah, as a replacement to copy.ai is actually Jasper that I was using first. And then I discovered copy.ai. And then since then, it's just been so many. There's many that people have created their own GPTs that I've used. I find those to be really good because it helps you to put together a post quite quickly, a social media post based on your brand voice and your tone. But yeah, there's just been so many over these last couple of 2, 3 years that I've come across. It's almost like, how do you even keep up? Because every day it feels as if there's something new.
Yeah. And I'm glad you touched on that just a minute ago, because there's a specific problem that a lot of people have with using AI for writing. They feel like it doesn't pick up their voice, or they feel like it doesn't pick up the tone that they want to convey with their audience. How have you addressed that problem?
I've actually used another AI, and within this particular AI, it's called Sonic. When I was starting to use that particular software, it does have a section where you can create your brand voice, or you can put in like a few previous posts, and it can give you a brand voice based off of those three or so posts that you put in there. So let's say, for example, I might say, oh, I want this particular post to be a bit more witty, have a bit more personality to it, make it more concise, a bit more persuasive. And then from there, I can tweak it. I can say, okay, what it spit back at me, do I like it? Doesn't really sound like me. Let's change this word. Let's change this word. And then I might put another prompt in there to say, okay, you are a copywriter with 25 years of experience, and I want it to be in this. And I want you to use Hemingway's tone, or to be in the likes of Stephen King, whatever it might be. I might put that in there, and then it can spit back out something from that based off of what I've written there. So that's how I've used it in the past.
Okay. And you talked about, and I agree with you 100%, there are so many tools now.
Yeah.
We're all drinking. I think the phrase that keeps coming up is drinking out of a fire hose.
Yes.
I
Yes.
keep saying that. How do you decide which AI tools to use?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I discover a new one, I might just like sometimes when people share, they might share like a spreadsheet of how they've used these different tools. So let's say they want something for research, they might have 5 AI tools there. And then they might have a little explanation of how you can use each of them. And I would just choose maybe one of two of them just to play around with. Type it into the internet and see what comes of it. I've used AI to literally create web pages, which has been phenomenal. Just typing in something and it literally creates a web page for me or an entire website with various pages on it. That's just been mind blowing how quickly I can do it. And it looks quite professional. Then there's others like so going back to that same spreadsheet, it might just have different headlines of various tools. So it might be a spreadsheet of like 25 or 30 different tools. And the individual might have separated like how you can use each, what each is used for. And I'll just choose maybe one or two from each and just play with it to see what it does.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
And what aspects of generative AI do you feel like have had the biggest impact on your productivity or your business?
Yeah, the biggest impact I would say with regard to AI, and I'm still learning so much with it, especially when it comes to automations. I'm definitely looking to explore that a bit more because if you're not automating some things, and let's say you're a person who does things manually, but then you have a competitor who's using AI, you are literally being left behind. Like I've seen that. Whereas, okay, look, I need to see how I can automate this particular process because it's taking me X amount of hours when for this person, it's literally taking them minutes. Within a few minutes, it's done for them. So one area of AI, which I would like to explore is with regard to outreach. Also, yeah, I've used AI for like emails. I found that to be very helpful. It can send out like automatic follow-up emails and those emails can be already written. And there's an automation that says, okay, send this out 2 or 3 days later if you don't receive a response. I already have an email that's drafted and everything. It has saved so much time with emails, especially for myself. If I
Mhm.
want to like pitch, for example, like pitch maybe 20 different people for something. And each email can be personalized based off of the conversation that we've had. Also, I've discovered this particular tool as well, Otter.ai. I've used them for meetings as a note taker because after that, I can, from the notes of a particular, let's say it's a sales meeting or a prospecting meeting, because we started the prospecting. If it's a prospecting meeting, then I can just take the conversation that we've had, drop that, like AI will give me a script of what was said in this meeting, but I could take that and say, okay, from this particular meeting, give me some ideas of social media posts that I can write about that will answer the questions that were asked during the meeting. And it can give me various suggestions, and that can literally give me a whole week's worth of content. So I love AI. I'm all for it. I don't think it replaces the human being, but I think it can enhance what we do and make
Mhm.
it more efficient. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. That sounds like a fantastic use case right there. The idea of it taking notes while you're meeting with a potential client, hearing their objections, their concerns, and then addressing those
Yeah.
immediately. That's
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's because before I would, let's say, for example, I was in a corporate meeting and I'm listening to what they say. I'm having to write this down or go back and listen to what we've just discussed for the last hour and write it down. But now we have these tools where they can just record while it's happening and it can give me the notes after, or sometimes the tool might show me like the transcript of the conversation on the side. So it's just so effective, I find, and efficient when it comes to business.
Have there been any challenges or difficulties that you've faced?
Yeah, there have with regard to AI. I find that sometimes it takes quite a number of prompts to get what I want.
Mhm.
So I am still trying to play around with it just so I can see how it can just streamline things even further. Aside from there are like some biases within AI that I've seen. Some AI might, and also it depends where it's scraping or generating the information from. It might not, between the two, I've seen differences between, let's say, once again, ChatGPT and Claude. I find sometimes Claude might be a bit more open minded, so to speak, when it comes to the responses that I get. It gives me much more depth, more thorough information as opposed to ChatGPT. It seems very regurgitated. So those are some of the challenges that I've experienced with AI. Also is being quick to the draw to implement it. Because you have some people who are like, oh, I just discovered this, or I've created my own generative AI, and this is how I'm using it in my business. And because things are moving so quickly, it is hard to keep up with all the various tools and implement them into a business so that you can stay competitive. Because what's happening now, people are literally being left behind, having to shut doors because they haven't been able to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned being able to continually be that human, and AI is not replacing you, it's complementing you. So
Mhm.
how do you balance the technological aspects of AI with maintaining that personal human connection with your clients?
Very good. So what I've found for myself is when I do use AI, I still will tweak things myself. So I would look at it and I say, okay, does it really sound like me? No, let's change this, let's change that. If the person responds, let's for an email, for example, I will actually respond to that email myself. And then, you know, I have the AI doing certain tasks, not all of it. And then I will take over from there pretty much. So I'm
Mhm.
still very much involved with it. I don't want to do in everything where there's no personalization because you still need to have that connection when it comes to the use of AI.
I've done that myself where it's okay, the blank page is the worst enemy. So let's
Yeah.
just get rid of the blank page.
Yeah.
Give me a draft,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to completely personalize this, but you
Yeah.
got me past that initial
Yes. Writer's block.
frozen moment. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. And also what I do as well, let's say, for example, I might have an idea of what I want to say. So what I've used in the past is where I've actually created like a little paragraph of what I want to say. And then I would say, okay, Claude or ChatGPT, can you synthesize what I've just said or just make it sound a bit more concise, enhancing the clarity and the flow of this particular paragraph? And what it brings me back is phenomenal. It's like, wow, it's like having your own little editor right there with you. It doesn't replace a real editor, but it does give you something in a very cost effective manner.
Mhm.
So I do like it for that.
Yeah, no, that's you're reminding me. I call that brain dumping.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like I have an idea, have no idea how to articulate it, and I
Yeah.
just dump all the brainstorming that I've been putting on paper or even with voice now. I've done that a
Yes.
couple times where it's just hit record because all these ideas are coming out and I want to just get ChatGPT to hang on to it for me because
Yes.
I'm gonna delete it if I
Yes.
don't get it out.
Yeah.
It's gonna remove itself.
Absolutely. And that's a great other use as well. I haven't used the voice aspect of ChatGPT as yet, but I want to give it a try
Mhm.
because it takes away the whole fact that you have to type it. Sometimes it's easier just to say it.
Are there other tools or applications that you're interested in exploring besides that?
Yeah, definitely. I was playing around with one. It was Make. Have you heard of Make?
Mhm.
Make. Yeah, Make.ai is actually like a replacement to Zapier. So
Oh,
it, yeah, so it gives you like the automations. It connects like two products, and that's one of them that I would like to look into. There's a number of I've used. What else I've used for AI? Because there's actually some what you call it, like website makers or website
oh,
makers.
like Gamma.
Yes, yes, that's
Mhm.
one. Yeah, that's one I was looking into. That was quite cool in terms of how you can say exactly what it is you want. Just write in a blurb of, okay, well, I'm a marketing consultant. This is what I do. And then it can literally give you the pages, page by page, or the flow of how you want your website to be set. So that was actually really nice. I have tried Gamma. But I'm still going through that list. I had a spreadsheet of various AI tools that I was looking at, and I'm still looking at some more of those particular tools that I would like to explore personally.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I love the spreadsheet idea. That's great.
Yeah.
What advice, besides obviously that spreadsheet, what advice would you offer to other business owners that are considering how they might incorporate AI?
Yeah, I would say definitely try to connect with people who are really in that space. People who would like to become thought leaders in AI. I'm connected to a few on LinkedIn, and I found them to be helpful because that's the area that they want to focus on. So they will just share, oh, look what I just discovered, and how a cousin or a friend of ours, right, was able to solve a problem by using AI. Oh, they wanted to see how they can further develop their writing coaching business. So they typed into Claude what what problem they were looking to solve, and Claude gave them an entire like business idea, and they actually developed using Replete.ai to develop the actual software, no code software. And I'm like, okay, Replete, what's Replete? Type it in. Okay, now there's a YouTube video on what this is. And it's like for developers and how they Python or something. It, it's just, it's mind blowing. It's hard to even put into words. It's literally mind blowing.
Yes. And that's the thing that's, I think, almost like it's, you have to wake yourself up to
Yeah.
what is possible now,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that constantly. It's like,
Yes.
okay, I need to re-envision because I think a lot of us who went to school, we went to school for certain things and we thought, okay, here's my lane, right? This is what I am becoming known in, or this is what I am learning. So I'm becoming a certain level of expert in this,
Yeah.
right? And we got so used to having a particular lane.
Hmm.
And now it's, you want to create an app. Okay, here you go. You don't have to code, create the app. You want to
Yeah.
make a movie? Okay, you don't have to go to film school, make the movie.
Yeah.
You want to, it's
Yes.
just, it's amazing to me. It's this great equalizer of opportunity.
And that's what I love about it because you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars or pounds or euros to go to university. You could literally just watch a YouTube video of someone who's created something and just replicate what they did to actually develop the exact same thing for maybe a fraction of the cost that it might have taken you to go to university to learn. Things just moving so quickly now, and the opportunities are definitely out there. There's challenges, yes, when it comes to sometimes getting investment for it. If it's that sort of like software you're looking to scale, yes, or you need to purchase like, what is it, Amazon AWS or something to house your softwares and whatnot. Yeah, that's a different story. But like you said, it's such a great equalizer. Like almost, I can't say everyone, but it's almost like everyone has the opportunity to improve.
Definitely. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. She's a coach and she has a client that is in her 70s and is tackling something that she never thought she could. But now that AI is in her realm, I can do this now. And I said, oh my God, I love that. It gives me chills just thinking about
Yes.
it.
70 years old when you're thinking, oh, I've already retired. Now I'm winding things down. But look, discovering something new and seeing how they can use it. You're not getting left behind. I love it. And that can
Yeah,
extend a person's life to know that they're
exactly.
developing new skills.
Yeah. It's
Opportunities that
beautiful.
it is. It is absolutely. It's just amazing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Is there something that you wish you'd known before you started using AI? Is there some kind of advice if somebody's listening to this and they're just thinking about it, they're just going to start? Is there something that you wish you'd known before you started that you could share with them?
Yeah, definitely. I feel sometimes when it comes to new things like AI, people can be hesitant. They can almost stop you from using. Don't use that. It's going to take away jobs. You shouldn't be using that. Try to do it yourself. No, put yourself out there. Give it a try. See how you can use it. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to the naysayers and just explore it. Have an open mind. Be curious with it. I wish that I would have just moved along when it came to some of these various like AI tools, because then I could have been even further ahead. had I started when I first had learned about it. And also, if I didn't know something, don't be afraid to say, hey, get someone else to come on board to see how we can develop it. Like these last few months, I've literally used Claude, I believe it was Claude, for example, and I put into this particular problem. I had a case study, actually. It was a case study. I put it into Claude. I said, analyze this case study. I want to see how we could develop a particular software or something to solve this problem. And it literally gave me back a whole list of things that I could, like how I can develop this particular software to solve the problem. What partners I would need to have, who I would need to have on my team, how much it would cost to develop. It was just like, it gave me everything. All I needed to do was just say, okay, investor, this is what I have. Thought leader in this particular industry, this is what I have. Have everyone in a round table. What do you guys think? Are you willing to invest? I think this has potential. Seriously. And it's within a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Things are moving so quickly.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And you don't even, the thing about it, which I love, I'm all for education. I do believe that it's great to go to university and have the social interactions and learn how to problem solve and meet lifelong friends and contacts and relationships that you can have as time goes on. However, I also believe that, like you had mentioned, AI is just opening up so many different opportunities for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're in a first world country or a third world country. The opportunity is there as long as you have internet connection. That's all you need is a laptop and internet connection. And you can literally develop something in a far country and compete with the likes of someone who is in a first world country. Like you said, it literally levels the playing field. So I would say to anyone who wants to explore generative AI, put yourself out there. It's also, especially for women, I think it's a great field for women to explore because when it comes to AI and data, those are some of the fields where there aren't many women leaders within these fields. There is the gender imbalance. So I would say that would be a great field to see more women getting involved, exploring, taking the lead, disrupting a bit of the status quo, so to speak. So yeah, definitely. I would say definitely get into AI. It's disruptive, yes, but it also has great good because it can alleviate some of the social challenges that we're dealing with today. It's just so much great that can come from AI, I think, personally.
I appreciate the fact that you bring up that we can actively make AI for good. I love the fact that you bring that up. And if someone wants to connect with you, they want to reach out to you and maybe partner with you or learn more from you, how would they do that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very active on LinkedIn. So it's linkedin.com/Kenisha-Pough, my first and last name. Also, I do have my website. It's momentumandco.co. It's still under construction at the present time, but that's where I am. And then I'm also available on Instagram. It's Kenisha Pough and Facebook as well. And I will be further developing my YouTube channel. Those are the places that you can find me.
Fantastic. I hugely appreciate you being willing to take some time and share because I think it's really important that women see other women in this space making these moves. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.